Up until the end of this war, everyone thought that Trump was a Netanyahu pawn. It is very clear now that Bibi is not puppeting Trump. Trump is controlling Bibi, and not just Bibi. He is attempting to stick his hands into Israeli politics, boost his own image, and try to claim that this was some big win. Trump is trying to put a stop to Bibi's trial, meddling in Israeli politics while Bibi now returns to his trial, though he is trying to postpone it for a few weeks due to international developments. 2 days after this war ended, Trump was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. The only problem is this war is not over. Khamenei is still alive, not only alive, but on public Iranian television claiming that Iran dealt an irreparable blow to both Israel and the US. Khamenei claimed that Iran slapped America's face. This is not a win. Until Iran is on its knees and in no fashion can even convince its own people that somehow, after hundreds of IRGC officials and nuclear scientists are dead and having inflicted no damage on either the US or on Israel, minus killing a couple civilians and damaging some basic infrastructure in Israel, if they still have the ability to convince even one person that this war was won by Iran, we didn't win. They have in no arguable terms lost this war badly. The only problem is it's not decisive. Israel was this close to a true decisive win. Another few days and this entire regime could have fallen. According to Trump, 52 airplanes were on their way to Iran during the 6 hours that Israel had to strike Iran before the official ceasefire went into effect. Other reports say that it was no more than just 4 planes, but that's a topic for another time. Israel, having these hours to finish the job, was supposed to be all they needed to truly end this once and for all. Regardless, Trump was not happy about Israel following the terms of the ceasefire and had Israel call their planes back. This was right after Iran violated their ceasefire agreement by launching several ballistic missiles after their 7:30 a.m. Iranian time ceasefire deadline, killing several Israeli civilians, giving no time for Israel to respond, and having zero consequences for their actions. I mean, none. Zero. It wasn't Bibi who announced the ceasefire. It was Trump. And it wasn't a suggestion. It was clearly a demand. Most of Israel does not even support the ceasefire. Even though multiple times a day civilians in Israel were running to bomb shelters, they still want to see the war finished and finished properly with a decisive win, not some garbage like this that simply kicks the can further down the road, whether months or years. It doesn't matter because the thing is not over. Not to mention, it also took hours before the Israeli administration even issued a statement about the ceasefire. The world is up in arms. Nobody knows the status of the massive ordnance penetrator effects on Fordo nuclear facility. Nobody knows where the already enriched uranium that disappeared is. Trump claims it was all at Fordo. Israel concurs, but there are some European allies who say that according to their reports, it was moved before the strike. The U.S. is doing extensive damage control right now, trying to quote just about every organization that they can think of to confirms massive damage done to the facility. In the beginning, the Iranian regime claimed the damage to Fordo was minimal. Now they're saying 2 things. Number 1, that the damage was extreme, and that they have no intention of stopping their nuclear program. And also, just a third thing, they are officially pulling out of IAEA cooperation, meaning no more checks and balances for Iran's nuclear program. Israeli intelligence didn't use the word obliterated, but it agrees with Trump's administration's assessment that there was extensive damage to Fordo. Bibi says Iran's ballistic missile program was completely taken out. However, just hours before the announcement, claiming victory, Iran was still launching missiles at civilian locations in Israel, causing deaths that, because of the ceasefire, will never go avenged. They died for nothing. Nobody, besides government officials, agrees with this decision. It's crazy. People feel jerked around. They feel like pawns in a chess game used for some government motive that clearly wasn't the erasure of the Islamic regime in Iran. In a new published report from the Foreign Affairs Committee, Pakistan is creating massive ICBMs capable of reaching the U.S. China and Russia are unaccounted for, and Iran is back to business, rebuilding and rallying support from their people. No, the Iranian people never took the opportunity to stand up and overthrow the regime, as expected. Who knows if there will ever be another opportunity to do so? Khamenei is now back to his regular, scheduled programming. In the clown show that transpired, Trump claims that Iran called the U.S. and said, hey, we would like to strike your base in Qatar. Is 1 p.m. good for you? Trump says, yes, 1 p.m. is good. They evacuated everyone and then proceeded to intercept all 14 missiles launched at the base. What is this theater? What kind of Matrix, Truman Show world are we living in? What happened to war? Real war, decisive war that actually gets won rather than leaving so many people in the world doubting the effectiveness. After billions of dollars spent, civilians dead, Iran completely disobeying the ceasefire in only the first 15 minutes of implementation. Beyond that, because of how committed Trump and the entire U.S. administration are to this idea that the war was so decisively won, he says that there's no need for a deal with Iran anymore. No need to negotiate with Iran. No need to even check up on it. What is going on? Now, let's shift for a second. A billboard popped up in Tel Aviv showcasing the Abraham Accords members yesterday. Two new faces are seen, the Lebanese president and the new Syrian president. It's very interesting, huh? Are we going to see some major developments in the Middle East in the coming days? I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. Is this all a sham? Is this a setup? Does Israel or the U.S. or both have some sort of ace in their sleeve that they're getting ready to deal, making Iran feel so comfortable that Khamenei exits the hole he was hiding in, the entire regime is out in broad daylight on the streets, and then Israel will strike or the U.S. will strike? Right now it seems a little far-fetched, but one can hope, right? I want to believe. So badly, I want to believe, and only time will tell. Was Trump looking for a win, or was he just looking to be seen on the world stage as some sort of peacemaker, or as the head of NATO called him, Daddy? New York is also changing. A Democratic socialist, Zoran Mamdani, who calls for the defunding of the police, the ending of cooperation with ICE, and government-run supermarkets, just won the Democratic primary. He's a supporter of Hamas, chanting Free Palestine, and even supported the October 7th attacks. New York, which is already one of the most crime-ridden states in the United States, might now see a defunding of the police, which, for anyone with half a brain, means more crime, not less. The left is all over him because rent freezes and all sorts of free goodies is very difficult to say no to. But at what cost? The Islamic takeover of the world appears to be moving at a very steady pace. Now, it's crazy what's going on. We can all agree in that. The Joint Chief of Staff and Pete Hegseth had to go on national television and give a full breakdown of the entire strike on Fordo to literally convince people that it was effective, because people are doubting it, because really nothing changed. Whether or not Iran has a nuclear program, it doesn't matter, because they've claimed multiple times, even since then, that they're just going to do it again. So what did we do? Kick the can down the road even more? Now, Israel is going to shift their focus back to Gaza. If the job is still not done yet. This crazy war that's gone on for over 600 days is not over yet, and everyone wants to see it done. The Houthis, Hezbollah, still existing. Hezbollah and Israel now have a ceasefire because of Hezbollah's iconic defeat with the Beeper attack, but they're still rebuilding. They still control a lot of southern Lebanon. The Houthis are still chilling. They're still there. So what about all of this? What are we going to see moving forward? Like I said, everybody wants to see some sort of massive surprise attack from the United States and Iran. And Israel at Iran. Because the head of the snake was not cut off. The proxies are very much still intact. Iraq has not seen any action yet. They're building up. Syria has got some stuff going on over there. Turkey has got some stuff going on over there. We haven't seen the end of this. So, what's next? We're going to have to wait and see. This has been Overnight Israel. I'm Simcha Brodsky, and we will catch you next time.